Hi, I'm Erin Spors, and today we're going to talk about and sit with joy, that great big, blissful, spontaneous feeling of happiness, wellness, wholeness, gratitude. It can be difficult to name. We just know it feels good. Sometimes it's so good that it's overwhelming. It might bring us to tears. And I don't want to confuse you by suggesting that it exists in isolation from other kinds of feelings and experiences. And of course, it doesn't persist. Just like any other feeling state, joy comes and it visits and it goes. And we can't hold on to it any more than we can indefinitely hold on to any other feeling. But certainly we can learn to hold space for it to show up freely and abundantly. And we can choose to turn our attention to it when it's there, when it's moving through us. Joy often does actually arise from situations or experiences that don't feel so good. We can have tremendous joy after coming out of something that was super trying, like birth or like running a marathon or any kind of experience that demanded a ton of us. We can also experience joy in tandem, holding hands with grief and sadness and loss. Because joy is born out of love. Love for the bliss of what we're experiencing. Love for our children, our families. Love for the beautiful earth that sustains us. Love for ourselves. And so all we're doing in our meditation practice is creating a container, increasing our capacity to hold joy by practicing the skill of holding whatever is present. Sometimes this can feel a little scary if what's present is pain, if what's present is fear, grief, anxiety, sadness, anger. But by practicing our consciousness with whatever's present, we're growing a muscle so that we can feel more, deeper, more freely. And that might mean that we feel pain more, deeper, and more freely. But it will also mean that we feel joy and love and gratitude and bliss more and deeper and more freely. So, let's practice. Find a comfortable seat and close your eyes. And start by tuning into your breath. Notice what's present in your body and in your emotional feeling state. Be aware of any agenda that's there. Any habit of trying to change or turn off or get away from feelings and experiences that aren't feeling good right now. And rather than turning those off, can we just sit here and hold it? Allow it to exist because it does exist. It is present. Continue to breathe. Notice how your feelings are landing in your body. And allow them lots of space and permission to change and to move. Continually checking in, asking yourself, what's happening now? What am I feeling now? tool that I like to use for cultivating my ability to hold and welcome joy. It's just kind of a silly little visualization that's a little reminiscent of the scene from The Wizard of Oz when Glinda the Good Witch floats in as a bubble. Right? She's this iridescent bubble that gets bigger and bigger and bigger until eventually you see her body shape inside of it. And I like to think of myself as being this body shape contained in this great big bubble of me. So I'm not limited to the confines of my body. I can hold so much more than the skin and bones of me can hold. And so we can grow that bubble as big as it needs to be to hold all of what you're feeling and all of what you're not feeling or not looking at. So if what you're feeling is pain, is unpleasant, then imagine, visualize that that darkness is occupying some of the space in the bubble, but the bubble is big enough to also hold lots and lots of light. And there may be stories or images that come to mind to represent that darkness and that light, or maybe you just have this undefined sense of a balance, that they coexist. They are intermixed, darkness and light. They're not really separate. And so whatever you're feeling right now, it isn't the only thing in the bubble. It's just what's at the front. It's just what you're looking at right now. So can you know and trust that everything else you could possibly experience is also in there? And that includes joy. Joy is just the big blissful experience of seeing the light. Seeing the pleasant, positive aspects of our humanness. And it might feel like gratitude or love or triumph. Or something else that you can't quite name. And it might feel profound, or it might feel simple. If you're not feeling that feeling of joy right now, can you continue to notice and sit with whatever you are feeling? And reach out and hold that bigger space. Leave the door open for joy to show up. Can you trust that it is there? It's just not up front, talking loudly right now. If you are starting to feel, or really feeling, that feeling of bliss, of joy, keep breathing it. Notice where it lands in your body. How does your body feel when you're joyful? How does your breath move through you when you're joyful? Are Are there stories that show up? Are there things you can name that make you feel this way? Do you experience joy when you feel loved, when you're out in a beautiful natural setting, when you've accomplished a big goal? Do you feel joy when you're just quiet in the moment? Just appreciating this moment with all of its beauty and all of its challenge. Can you allow yourself to feel joy for just the simple fact that you woke up this morning and you are here? Just as we started, right where we are, we'll finish right where we are. Whatever you're feeling and experiencing right now, feel it, welcome it in. Breathe into it. Bring a little bit of your attention around to the places in your body where you're making contact with the earth or your seat or whatever you're resting upon. Take in the noises around you, the temperature of the air, sensation of your clothes on your body. And slowly open your eyes. Coming back to the larger space around you. Thank you again so much for joining me. Namaste.